I'm really excited to introduce a wonderful colleague, Vikas Vinayachandran from Chennai, India. One of the most powerful advantages of working virtually is the capacity to connect with fantastic colleagues and friends from all over the world. I reached out to Vikas after seeing him present an excellent webinar on strengthening virtual teams. I immediately appreciated his solid content and personable approach. Vikas is the head of training at MMM Training Solutions in Chennai and has worked with leaders and teams on every continent except Antarctica. I'm really pleased that he's willing to share some insights with you that'll help you strengthen your virtual emotional intelligence.
Hi there, my name is Vikas and I work as a leadership and inner communications facilitator and coach. I've been in training and development 19 years now, and I currently work with an organization called MMM Training Solutions based in Chennai in the southern part of India. One of the things about my work that I absolutely love is that I get to ask people questions that tickle their brain and make them think a little differently from how they were thinking the previous day. And I'm here to share with you a few tips on emotional intelligence in virtual environments as a leader. Emotional intelligence in virtual one-on-one conversations. I have two tips for you. Number one, paying attention to tone of voice. And number two, breathe to balance. Let me start with number one, paying attention to tone of voice. I learned this a few years ago. I started my career in the call center industry, and as a visual person, I found it quite challenging initially because I had to kind of listen to people without actually having to see them, right? And that was disorienting for me, quite a bit actually. The way I learned to cope with that is that I would actually listen to the tone of voice and try and gauge what people were feeling. And this allowed me to connect with them much better. I'd even play a little game with myself. I'd sometimes listen to people's voices and imagine what they would look like, right? Tall, short, male, female, what kind of mood they were in. Were they angry, or were they, just a little bit upset, or were they kind of just taking it easy? This allowed me to connect with them a lot better because by paying attention to tone of voice, it allowed me to connect to the emotional nuances that were present. So try that out in your virtual discussions, because sometimes we don't get to see the video of the other person. We only hear the audio, or sometimes the video might just be stuck, right? So in these situations, pay attention to tone of voice. That allows you to connect better with the person you're speaking to. Tip number two, breathe to balance. Have you got into these situations where sometimes it's a heated discussion? Well, in these sorts of discussions, what I recommend is you take a moment, just pause and breathe. Pay attention to your breathing. Specifically, if you'd like to breathe in a certain pattern, try something called rhythmic breathing. What is it? Well, breathing to a rhythm. As simple as that. Try this out. Breathe in for 4 counts and breathe out for 4 counts. Right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So breathe in for 4, breathe out for 4. Right? Why? Well, what studies show is that rhythmic breathing actually allows you to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system. What is the benefit of that? Well, your parasympathetic nervous system allows your body to stay calm, therefore allowing you to handle that situation in a stress-free manner and make better decisions, right? So, the 2 tips for virtual one-on-one conversations. Number 1, what you want to be doing as much as possible is paying attention to tone of voice. Understand the emotional nuances so that you can connect to the other person. And number 2, breathe. Try breathing to a rhythm, right? And that allows you to balance yourself and also not only connect to the other person, but also you make better decisions.